What's up, my good people? Welcome back into the Bully Boss Show on Sparks TV. I'm your host, Nino Sparks Don, aka the Mid-Range Bully. Now, before we get started, as always, if it's your first time tapping in, or maybe you've tapped in before and you're just a little unsure, go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, stay tapped in. Let's get it. Now, a lot of news in the NBA, a lot to break down, a lot to decipher. As always, we're going to give it to you. We're going to get to the real shit. And we're going to break it down as only I can. Now, here on the Bully Boss Show, we don't get into the personals. We like to keep it on the court. We'll let the clowns, you know what I'm saying, talk about the stuff that happens in people's personal lives. I don't get into that type of stuff. But I will say, as far as basketball-wise, what's going down with the Warriors has really opened up a lot of different possibilities. I think initially anyway, even though the Warriors might have been favored to win it again, it's a lot of teams, both East and West, that feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? If you my team, if you the Lake Show, we feel good. If you the Clippers, you feel good. If you the Nuggets, you probably feel good. You're getting all your pieces back. If you Dallas, you probably feel good. If you the Suns, you was the top dog. Maybe you look at it like, hey, we lost ourselves. You should still feel good. East, if you the Brooklyn Nets, you feel good about what you got. You know what I'm saying? If you the Heat, you feel good. If you the Bucks, you feel good. It's a lot of teams in the mix, but we gonna break down, I want to jump in. I want to start with the guy that's really been shining, that pretty much has locked up that first pick. You never know, though. You never know. But that's the man of the hour, Victor Wembanyama. Hope I'm saying that right. Man, the guy put on a show and then put on another show. I got his shit drawn up right now. I'm just looking. You can't teach that height. You can't teach them skills. It's just some people just got it. He got the swag. You seen the Buffs on during the interview. He got it going. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Scoot. What's his name? Scoot Henderson. Is it? I want to make sure I'm getting his name right. Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson is no slouch. We're going to break down that, 1 or 2. Hey, you should be happy, But we're going to talk about, we already know the teams that are tanking. I want to talk about the teams that should be tanking. You know what I'm saying? The teams that should just wrap that shit up, put a bow on it, and just tank all the way down. And we'll go East and West. We're going to start with the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland Trail Blazers, come to the stand. It's your time to come up off of Dame Lillard. You're holding them hostage. I know you're paying them handsomely to be there, but you're holding them hostage. We want to see Dame win. We're Dame fans. We want to see Dame on the biggest stage, the brightest lights. That can't happen in Portland. Shout out to Portland. But it's not going to happen. Your best bet was when you had Aldridge, you had Nicholas Batum, you had Wes Matthews doing his thing. Since then, even though you got a little further, it just hasn't added up. And looking, I don't even got to pull up the roster, because there's nothing on there that says that you got better. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Dame is going to be Dame times 10, and he can lead this team not just to a play-in tournament, but to the playoffs and win a series. But that's an awful lot of wit. Excuse me, that's an awful lot of ifs. The reality is more like you're putting this redundant roster out there each season, and you're selling tickets based off people liking Dame Lillard. Like I said, we're Dame fans. We want to see Dame play. Now again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Anthony Simons, maybe he takes that next leap. Maybe he comes into his own. Maybe he's an all-star this year. Maybe Jeremy Grant gives you what he gave you in Detroit, points-wise. We know what he could do defensively, switching and everything, but maybe he gives you what he gave you in Detroit. Maybe Yusuf Nurk shows up. But that's an awful lot of maybes. The reality is you should put a bow on it. It's time to get Dame up out of there. And I got the perfect place for him to land. Because I'm going to talk about the Eastern team that also should just say fuck it and tank. Because even having a chance at getting Victor is better, and your fans will even understand it. That's better than you trying to do what? Repeat what you did last season? So you're going to do, even if you make it, you're going to be a first round exit. I'm talking about the New York Knicks. Come to the stand. It's time for the New York Knicks to make a big move. We thought you was going to make a big move. You had a guy that actually wanted to go there. No disrespect to the Knicks fans. Shout out to New York. But we've seen this. You want to talk about a redundant bunch? Not like R.J. Barrett. I liked Randall when he was with the Lakers. I like the coach. I like the signing of, I'm forgetting it, Jalen Brunson. I like the signing of Jalen Brunson. I seen what y'all doing in the preseason. You look good. Obi Toppin look like he doing something quickly. Everybody looks like they're progressing. But it's time for a big move. It's time for a big move. Y'all ain't been in the playoffs since. Y'all haven't won a playoff series. A meaningful playoff game since I don't know when. The last time y'all was really, really where people looked like maybe they can do something was when you had Melo. Since then, what have you really been doing? Now, what am I proposing? I'm proposing that y'all have a sit down with the Blazers and say it's time to make this happen. If Anthony Simons is the guy that we feel like is going to take this next leap, then why not start to build around him now? Let's get the guy that the guy that has kept us relevant. Let's do him a solid and get him to a contender while he's in his prime, and let's get some assets that we can gather while that player is in a prime, and we can build around this next guy we think is going to be great. And what if we end up with the number 1 pick? What if you trade Dame for R.J. Barrett, maybe a Quickly or a Grimes, throw one of them guys in there, or Randall, now you're thinking, you like, oh, well, who's Dame gonna play with? Well, you're going to do the same thing the Blazers were going to do. You're going to tank it out. Tank it out for the rest of the season. Well, the season ain't even started. But yeah, tank it out. This guy Victor, he's worth it. Just take my word. If you haven't seen him play, he's worth it. Take my word for it. And if you can't get him, if you can get Scoot, you're still winning. Let's look at it from Portland's standpoint. Let's say you trade Dame to the Knicks. You get an RJ Barrett. Let's say if you don't want Randall in that contract, maybe you take another young player, like I said, maybe a Quickly or Grimes. I don't know his first name. You can get a Grimes and an RJ Barrett and a shit ton of picks. If Rudy Gobert went for 5, Dame's going for 6. Easy. If you the Knicks, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Only pick you want is this one for this next upcoming draft. You can have all the other picks after that. Because if you land on a Dame and a Victor, we'll get into that. But from Portland, let's say you don't get Victor. Let's say you get the second pick, you end up with Scoot. Now you got your point guard of the future in Simons to pair with this dude who for sure is probably going to be an all-star off the rip, and Scoot Henderson. And you pair him with RJ Barrett. Now you got your big 3. Plus you got picks that you can either swap out and put and build around those guys, or you can just keep drafting and load up. And now you got something to sell your fans. We got 3 young stars that are coming. Let's say you hit the lotto. You do win. You do get the number 1 pick. Even better. Now you're sold out for real. Now you got Simons, you got Barrett, and you got your big. You got your multiple-time all-star. This dude's gonna make the all-star team. If you think Scoot gonna make, this dude is making the all-star team the next 10 years. That's how good this dude is. And if you the Knicks, okay, we're gonna watch this season. But we got Brunson, we got Dame, and we possibly could get Victor. And if we don't get Victor, we get Scoot. Now you got Dame, Scoot, Brunson. That's something you can build around. People want to play with Dame. Let's say you take that second pick, you boost another trade. Now you're going in the right direction. You know, because all the Knicks want is a star. That's all they want. Is a star. If you the Knicks, that's really all you need. These young guys, yeah, that's gonna be a great team. Who knows? Maybe RJ Barrett can take over. Maybe he can be that guy. You know, maybe Brunson, you know, like I said, they look good. But as is, where do you stand? You know, because you're not better than Brooklyn. You're not better than Milwaukee. You know, you're not better than the Heat, the Celtics. A lot going on with the Celtics. You're still not better than them. Chicago. Who else? Leaving somebody out. That's 5 teams right there that you're not. You just want to be in the mix as you are every season, which isn't a bad. Like I said, you're building, but come on.